Cedar Point's new for 2023 roller coaster is actually not a roller coaster at all. It's a restaurant. Oh, I mean pavilion, sorry. This pavilion will house two different restaurants and is Cedar Point's answer to the insane hype surrounding their 2023 edition. If this were just a new restaurant coming to the park, whatever. But it's taking the place of Wicked Twister, which is long rumored to be the spot for their next big thrill coaster. The coaster capital of the world just replaced a major thrill coaster with a restaurant. Plus, the future of Top Thrill Dragster is anything but certain. What's going wrong at Cedar Point? In today's video, I'm going to try to answer this question and give a complete breakdown and analysis of this decision and what it means not just for the park, but for the industry as a whole. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Let's dive in. Cedar Point, roller coaster capital of the world, America's rock and roller coast, is adding a restaurant after what will be a 6-year coaster drought. What? When I first got wind of this, I genuinely thought it was some kind of joke, like The Onion but for coasters. But no. Cedar Point's 2023 edition is a restaurant. Let that sink in for a sec. A lot of people are pretending to not be disappointed by this, but really, are you? If you think a restaurant is a better fit at Cedar Point than a dueling GCI, RMC T-Rex, or record-breaking Gerstlauer, then you're probably just lying to yourself to block the pain. I get it. The amusement industry has been struggling ever since COVID, so I suppose I can give them some sort of pass, but not really. I'll go back to some points I made in my Magic Mountain Cedar Point video. I nailed some stuff on the head. As of now, Six Flags as a whole is absolutely obliterating Cedar Point. Their parks are getting new entrances, new theming, single rider lines, and 3 major new thrill coasters. Cedar Fair, nothing. They're a stone rolling downhill. Just as you think it can't get any worse, it does. Remember when everyone was devastated that Top Thrill Dragster would be closed for the rest of the 2021 season? And then they announced it would be closed for the entire 2022 season also? Ouch. Cedar Point is echoing the entire Cedar Fair chain. They're going down. One of their biggest coasters is closed, with little chance of ever reopening, and they just replaced a major thrill coaster with a restaurant. What is happening? Knott's Berry Farm's operations and management is a disaster. No parks are getting anything new for this year, and their Giga rumor for Knott's was majorly downgraded into a mini hyper, and we don't even know if that's happening. The only thing I can say they did right was give Wolverine Wildcat at Michigan's Adventure some Titan track. And even that wasn't really right because they should have just RMC'd it. Let's compare this to Six Flags. They've repainted numerous coasters, including Tatsu and the Medusa retheme. They've added single rider lines and renovated park entrances. They got Titan back open at Six Flags Over Texas, Lex Luthor is back open at Magic Mountain, and El Toro at Great Adventure is also back. And most importantly, they're adding 3 major thrill coasters from RMC, B&M, and Mach. 5 years ago, if I told you a major American amusement park chain was adding 3 new thrill coasters from RMC, B&M, and Mach, Cedar Fair would have been the obvious answer, but not anymore. I can believe this whole shift is from how the two chains handled the pandemic. Six Flags got super creative with drive-through events like Holiday in the Park, and they got their parks open as soon as possible. Cedar Fair did nothing. They didn't do anything wrong, they just didn't do anything. The parks closed and they reopened a season later, and that was that. And now they are clearly not doing super well financially. The entire Cedar Fair way of playing it safe has not worked out for them the same way it has in the past. The pandemic shook up the industry, and Cedar Fair needs to adapt. Let's go back and discuss Cedar Point for a second. I visited last summer and had the time of my life. This visit included both Top Thrill Dragster and Wicked Twister. I still think Cedar Point has the best collection of roller coasters in the country, but just barely. 3 parks are majorly on their tails, those being Carowinds, Hershey Park, and of course Six Flags Magic Mountain. I think any of these parks, realistically, could take Cedar Point's crown with a single addition. Hershey Park with RMC Wildcat, Carowinds with RMC Hurler, and Magic Mountain with really anything. The Giga would slay Cedar Point, and even Wonder Woman could bring the 2 parks level. The real question is now, where does Cedar Point go from here? The new restaurant essentially destroys any hope of a 2023 coaster. And while this is bad for Cedar Point, it's good news over at Knott's Berry Farm because it means a major addition is more likely. Anyway, let's end this video with a little bit of speculation. What will Cedar Point add next and when? Watch it be a family coaster in like 2 years from now. I'll flip. Literally. As long as it's some kind of big thrill coaster, I'm sure it'll be fine. The normal candidates from GCI and Gerstlauer I think are both great options. It really just depends on Cedar Fair's strategy for their number one park. Is Cedar Point the next Michigan's adventure? I don't think so. Let me know in the comments, and what do you think about Cedar Point's 2023 restaurant, and tell me how you think it reflects a changing strategy of the chain. That's all for this video, and as always, thank you for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.